Sometimes people don't think it be like it is, but it do. Welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Big Bad Bag of Wisdom back again on the mic. Thank you for joining us at another episode of Thousand Ways Podcast. I would like to take a minute just to let everyone know that you guys can follow me on Instagram. You guys can follow the show on Instagram. You can follow the show on Twitter. I also have the website. So if you need to catch up on any episodes, start from the beginning, you can always go there. It's www.1000wayspodcast.com. And same thing with the Twitter at. What else? If you like this episode, if you like any of the episodes, you like the show in general, don't be afraid to leave a little review. Or you want to send me some feedback, just email me. I appreciate it. I love reading through these emails and stuff. So this episode was fun. It was myself, and the other suicide cowboy, medium-sized Santi, and our buddy Josh P, the Mick Iceberg, Irish Iceberg Kirby. Go and try to figure that nickname out. Little hint, has stuff to do with the TV show, and because he's a very emotional person and he's like an iceberg. But yeah, I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was fun to record it, and we'll definitely do it again. Thank you all, and I love you guys. Hope you enjoy the show. Ready? Let's count it down. It's ticking by really slowly. It's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go. Keep going, bro. Spit.
Can't spit.
Just
Can't spit. I wasn't spitting. That was
okay. Beat. Fucking hit those beats, bro. Here we go. Sitting on the mic with some grilled bacon. Call my man Dwight just to see what was shaking. God damn, dude, that's loud.
That's the intro.
That's loud. I was recording. It's recording. Like we're live.
We're definitely live right now. Yeah.
Wow.
Why is happening?
it? Okay. What's up? What's going on? All my friends out there. All my friends and hitters, my buddies. How you doing? That's the most important question that I ask everybody, because sometimes you're just lost in life. Sometimes you need a little pick-me-up. Sometimes you need to talk to a friend. You need someone to ask you how you're doing, So I ask everyone how they're doing, and I hope they're talking like back to me in their cars or their homes or wherever they listen to the show.
You don't think that's weird?
Yesterday I gave everybody a hug, so yeah, and they liked it. What's my name? My name is Big C, and I'm joined by none other than the other weary cowboy here. So,
yeehaw,
Cowboy C, and then Cowboy Santi right here, and then
that was pretty sick.
That was
pretty tight.
And then on our way westward toward what is that? Towards Manifest Destiny, going out west to find some gold. We picked up a friend. We picked up a buddy. We picked up our buddy, the Mick, and the Mick, Josh, Patrick Kirby. What is going on with you, my hitter?
It's going great.
Yeah.
Feeling good. Mick is a new name to me. Usually go by Kirby.
Yeah, Mick is cooler though.
Yeah, I like the Mick.
Yeah,
I
Mick
think
is
that
pretty
needs to be
tight.
the new one.
Josh, you better speak into that microphone, bro.
Speaking in
There.
the Mick.
You might need to go a little bit louder.
Wow, all right. The Mick.
There we go.
Yeah,
That works.
that's where we're at.
That works. I can boost your audio because you're speaking like a
I'm trying to go radio ASMR, NPR.
NPR radio.
Yeah.
So we are sitting here talking. We're gonna talk about some things today. Talk about some serious things, and we're just gonna see what happens. I mean, we've been drinking a little bit, and tears might start flowing. Not gonna lie, I might start crying, but that's okay because men cry.
Amen.
Even weary cowboys.
Well, fucking cowboys cry a lot.
The Mick cries.
But let's introduce. Well, first we'll catch up. We'll catch up with this weary cowboy right here. So a little Santi, a big Santi over here.
Schmedium Santi.
Medium sized Shanti over here. What's been going on with you? What are your big moves?
Big moves. No, man, it's just I mean, you stepping down at work.
Yeah, don't
You know?
say the. No, also, Josh, don't say the name of where we work.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, it's never a good thing.
because then I have to go back and edit it.
Yeah, so don't
It's
do it.
happened several times.
It's no, it's not good. But I mean, just that whole move there, and just the fact that
Big moves.
we've been stressing big moves. What is it that we want to do?
Mhm.
For me, it's I'm trying to get back on my path. We'll touch on that in a little bit. But yeah, no, it's just the fact that you're gonna be dipping out, but also the fact that I guess you're just doing nothing but helping me out. Plain and simple. You're just pushing me.
I'm the main cowboy on this.
Yeah.
I'm the lead steer. I'm the lead
the
steer.
lead steer, huh?
The
There you
lead
go.
steer. Josh, turn that fan off, bro. Let's get a hot sweaty in this room
Yeah,
because
no.
for whatever reason, this oh my gosh, that sounds a lot better. Wow, that sounds a lot better. Yeah, man, that's some big moves. I mean, definitely on my part for stepping down, but I don't know. We're kind of just like a package deal
That's really what it is since birth.
since birth. Package
And then-
deal.
And then I picked this Mick up, sometime around middle school. Known this
Early-
guy for a
early-
while,
The early years.
early years. So I think he might have become part of that package. If I were to be honest,
100%.
Well,
So, like-
is this three-way now?
I think
I don't know if I would.
You
count
might
it
be-
as a-
I
as a
guess
three
might
way.
be on to
So, I mean,
something.
so, I mean, you and I are the gruesome twosome, but what a gleesome threesome? Is that what we are?
I
Us three.
There you go.
Incorporate that trio.
The trio.
Yeah.
All right.
Trio.
So that's Big Santi or Schmedium Santi over there.
Schmedium.
That's what he's up to nowadays since the Rocky episode. Now it's the Mick. It's this guy over here.
Yep.
So Joshua P. Kirby, speaking to the mic louder, bro. But who are you? Who are you, buddy?
Who am I?
Who's Josh? And why are you why are you going out west?
I'm gonna
West
go
towards destiny.
towards the gold. I'd say just because, just like what was it? Was your two name
The Weary Cowboys.
the weary cowboys, the gruesome twosome.
The gruesome twosome.
Yeah. I'd just say because I think we're all like-minded. I think that, I've known Santiago since 5th, 6th grade and stayed close ever since. Met Caesar in 8th grade and kind of fell back into the path recently. And just kind of always kept a mindset of, you know what, I'm feeling different, feeling different and
Good and great.
Yeah, feeling good, feeling great. Like great
YG.
composer YG. So right now I'm going to college, going to 4-year. I don't know if we can disclose. We'll probably disclose.
We a Southern California school.
Yeah.
That's all everyone needs to know. I'm going to a school
Find
down
me.
here in Southern California. Don't
Don't
say
find-
we've had a bad experience with that already, saying some shit like that. So
No, okay, not good.
no, so all they have to, you know what? We don't even live in Southern California. We live in Alaska.
We live, we're making our way
We're on an
west.
island.
We're more
Somewhere.
like we're more like Minnesota right
Jo-
now.
Josh is going to college. He's going to
We're
a
going to
4-year
college. We're going
school.
to 4-year. And so I'm about to be
what-
entering my
what-
3rd year.
What school? Got him.
Somewhere. And I was studying for business for 2 years, and this previous year, my last semester, I felt super anxious about what I was doing. I wasn't fully invested into what I was doing. Not to say that it was boring or like I was shying away from the challenge of what was coming at me, but I just wasn't liking what I was doing. And one big thing that's helped me right now go through college is Greek life in a fraternity on campus, which gave me that social aspect that I crave, that I honestly need, because if I wasn't, I probably still wouldn't be in college, or I wouldn't be in college by now. I think that really saves me throughout the day, keeps me in a positive mindset around positive people, and I love talking with people. I love having that close relationship, making new relationships, and that brings all that to me, which is a big benefit. Some minor benefit or minor detriments is my bank account. Bank account is low. I'm going for crumbs right now.
You know what? Everybody out there who thinks that Josh is a big douche because he's in a frat,
No.
they're right. But but Josh is. I met Josh, back when I was like in middle school, or probably just getting into high school, and they're just goons. These two just sitting in front of me, they're just goons, and it's nice to see them make it through. Fuck, dude, what is it? It's been like 6, 7, 8, like 8 years now, right?
Pretty much. I think since 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
That's like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, it's like 7 or 8 years. Like it's crazy.
Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, it's crazy. You need those people in your life. But Josh, on top of eating crumbs, and what else is going on? What else are you facing in college?
Facing college is basically, am I there for a reason? Am I there for the social status of getting a degree and all that? Or am I just wasting my money? Guaranteed, tuition is not the worst. I know people that are going to have tuition until they're dead. But, to know that am I really doing this for my parents' pleasure? Am I doing this for the social status of my peers? Am I doing this to stay in Greek life? I think it's a mix of all three, to where it's like I don't want to drop out and say, oh, Josh dropped out. He dropped out. And then like my parents thinking like, my parents asked me, they're like, do you even want to go to school? And I said, yeah, because what else am I going to do? But that was one of the things that we kind of figured out the other day that's enlightened me and actually helped me out, kind of get my tunnel vision back. But it's been a mix of like, is this really what I want to do? I said that I want to be a sales representative. That doesn't sound cool.
That was the thing that I said to you. I'm like,
yeah. So what do you want to do?
You're going to college for 4 years. You're going to be a salesperson.
Yeah.
You can learn. You could be in.
I can do that in the streets.
Yeah, you can do that in the streets, or you can do that in the job that you're in now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure. Granted, yeah, you're getting a degree in it. I'm sure you'll fine tune some. You'll fine tune some
tricks,
aspects, but really hands on. Like, what's the difference? Like 10 years doing the same job as a salesperson.
I said I wanted to sell like automobiles. I could do that now.
You do that
I could do that
now.
now as we speak. And that's what I kind of didn't realize, and why I was telling Santiago, like, I appreciate you asking those difficult questions that not a lot of people, because no one's brave enough to ask it, and because I think deep down they don't know either. So it's like the other day we're just, at work, and it was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, he told me, like, why is it taking you so long? It was like, because through my head I was thinking about hobbies. I was thinking about, oh, like health and fitness be cool. Oh, CrossFit be cool. Oh, like this be cool. It's like, yeah, those are cool, but what do you want to do? And we're standing there, and it's like, I said stand-up comedian, and instantly you're like, yeah, that's it. And it triggered a memory for Santiago and I. It's like, damn, dude, I remember when we were kids, and it was like, this is what I want to do.
Since middle
Nothing,
school, bro.
yeah, nothing feels better than making someone laugh. And I asked my little sister that, because that night I went home and I was like, I'm gonna pursue comedy. And she laughed. She was like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, I think I can do it. And I asked her, what other than music or laughter helps you get out of a sad state of mind or negative? And she's like, nothing. I was like, exactly.
Bingo.
I was like, boom.
Well, you see, and you
Exit.
mentioned stage right, and then you mentioned it a little bit earlier. You're like, you kind of asked yourself, oh, your parents asked you, like,
Yeah.
do you even want to go to school?
Yeah.
I guess a big question that you have to ask yourself is are you committed? Like,
Mm-hmm.
are you committed to the idea? Like, why are you going to school? Are you doing it for yourself, or are you committed for the wrong reasons? Is your main purpose and your main focus, is it not yours?
Yeah.
Because I think I was talking to you. It was if you're doing this, if you're going to school, and are you doing it because it's the comfortable thing to do, because it's the thing that your parents have done and you want them to be proud of you? Is it because that's just a natural course of action? Like, you're supposed to go to, middle school, high school, then go to college.
Because from a kid, their end goal, they're implanted in your head is go to college.
Yeah.
Go to the best college with the best degree and live that way of successful as a student. As teachers that were once students, they want to repeat that circle of life of, we need teachers, we need businessmen, we need people who sell things, and we need all that, but we need doctors, we need lawyers, and all that. And it ties into a big part of why I'm in college is because it is a social norm. Because out of high school, people that go into just straight into a industry and a job, people that go to community college, people that go to a 4-year, it's like, it's kind of that natural course of, this is what's next, and you got to figure it out.
I talked about something. It's like an extra episode that I put out. I talked about I pulled out all of my notebooks. I pulled out all of my notebooks, and I laid them all down, and I'm like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total, but 2 of them are in the same thing.
Yeah. And
I was thinking about, why I broke them down. Like, each one of them has a different purpose. Each one of them, one of the main was, like, the first one was my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was coaching. Like, what kind of coach I want to be. Coaching in all aspects. Life coach, Olympic weightlifting coach, any sort of coach.
Yeah.
The last one was Olympic weightlifting goals. And then the 2 at the end were, like, big ideas. My big ideas. Those were they kind of tie into everything else. And I kind of sat there and I talked about how keeping everything simple, keeping everything focused, breaking it down and breaking your life down into small little 3 or 4 aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, Olympic weightlifting, podcasting, and coaching.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I love to do, and that's pretty much all I do. That's pretty much my personality. I might be boring as fuck to some people, but that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to complicate everything with so many outside reasons and just so many things that are just chirping at you and telling you do this, like
right.
For Big Santi over here,
Schmedium.
Schmedium
Tongue twisters.
Yesterday we were watching Crazy Rich Asians, and I looked it up. I looked it up on my phone because I needed to see the name of one person, and I typed in Brazy Rich Asians. But for little
shouts out YG
for Schmedium Santi over here, if you were to break down the aspects of your life into notebooks, what would they be?
Like, especially after you got me that notebook, I've actually been thinking about that, and just the sheer thought of what would it be? Because I don't have multiple, I just use one.
It's
and really
hypothetically.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying is I've jotted in that journal, of what it is that, I'd kind of categorize myself as, and it's been difficult. It's been difficult because I do have all those outside factors and everything. It's the same thing. I go to community college, so it just felt like it was the right thing to do. But it was kind of skewing what it is that I loved. And, these last 2 years, as I've told Josh and especially my weary cowboy cousin Angel,
Big A.
Big C.
Big C's.
Big C's.
I need a cooler nickname.
We'll come up with one. But just the sheer fact that there's so much going on, and the hard part is that we're young. We're young.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 20. You're 22. It's like we have so many different paths that we can go down, and I think that's probably the hardest thing. But the thing is like you just said it, it's to it's keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? It's like what is it that you love to do? What is it that you like doing? And I mean, I gotta say, I've definitely just kind of sparked up the fact that I absolutely love music. Music is up there. Something similar, to you would be coaching. I loved playing football back in high school. Even before that, I had gone to a few practices for my little brother who's a freshman now, and even helping out there, I got in trouble because I'm not allowed to be there, but still
extra work.
Yeah, but it was still cool. It was still cool just to see that I was at that point, and then it's like I saw the progress that I had made, and I mean, I don't know, it's definitely something along the lines of music, people.
One notebook is music.
Definitely music. Another would definitely be, I don't know, it's like big ideas, but big ideas for people. I'm trying to figure that
charity.
out. Pretty much.
So
charity.
Big idea is charity, and I would say another one for you would probably be your
beliefs.
Yeah,
definitely.
So
most certainly.
Yeah. So music, charity, and beliefs. So just simplify it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Josh, Mick, and I know it's probably harder for you because you don't have someone in your life like consistently like him and I.
Yeah.
Someone who's berating you with questions on what it is that you're doing.
Right.
Asking you the hard questions. But what would you say if you had notebooks in front of you? If you had those notebooks in front of you, doesn't matter how many there are.
Yeah.
What would your priorities be, or what would you summarize your life in, or what is it that you want those notebooks to be about?
So on a side note, I do journal. I write down thoughts. Sometimes I write.
Bitch.
I write down.
It's diary.
It's not diary.
I have like 5 of them. I have 5 in my backpack.
It's I'd say to like prioritize and kind of sum up my thoughts, it'd be, one would be just doing what I could do. So I guess charity, do what I could do to help people.
For others.
Yep. So charity, I probably just say like inner thoughts. Like there's times where I'm just like, damn, what does this mean? I take everything into a different perspective now.
Yeah.
And that's just from
introspection.
My past, my experiences to where I want to deep dive into everything. I like think of myself as like kind of like an iceberg, to where it's like you see this, don't laugh. This is the first time I've ever done that. Start it now.
I'm an iceberg.
You
You know what?
iceberg.
The iceberg.
That's
bro.
Josh's new
no.
name. Josh is the iceberg, bro.
God.
Two wearing cowboys pick up. Oh, two wearing cowboys
We
land
find an iceberg.
on an iceberg.
On our way down from Alaska. You did say we're up in Alaska, bro. Shoot.
So yeah, it's like you see this, you see the top of it, but
At the top is on, I think I've heard the top's on like 10%.
yeah. But what, like, the more and more that we talk and hang out and you see this inner depth of me, you see the full picture. Because people, speaking of Greek life, the amount of girls, just girls that come up to me and say, "You're just another frat boy," I'm like, fuck that. Like, you can kiss that saying goodbye. Let's have a conversation. And it's like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. And it's like, you're fucking right, you are. Like, goodbye. So it's like, yeah, even being in Greek life, that puts a damper on me, which bothers me, because it's like
The stigma.
yeah, it's like, okay, I get it. Like, I didn't join Greek life to have this stigma of who I am. It comes with it, guaranteed, that I didn't know about. But at the same time, how do you act upon those stigmas? How do you act in a certain position to where people do see who you really are in your true colors?
Yeah.
So that inner thoughts would be another one, and then
So what was it? It was
charity, inner thoughts,
introspection.
Mm-hmm.
So
also, I find a big interest in health and fitness. I got my medical needs. I got all that. In starting my diet and CBD, I've seen a change. I haven't seen as many outbreaks in my body, which is crazy. After
What is it? Yeah, what is it that
So-
let the people know?
so, I have eczema, pretty severe. It sucks.
you got eczema?
You got eczema?
You got eczema?
Yes. Like, the worst kind. It sucks. And ever since
How long have you been? How long has it really been an issue?
So around spring break there's been outbreaks in the past, but this past spring break before then, I stopped taking a medicine of mine that I just thought was for like asthma and shit, and to find out that it was an anti-inflammatory. So after not taking that, I started to see like some outbreaks along my whole body, from places on my chest, my stomach, all along my arms, my back, to where it almost be like scabs. So I started to take the steroid for about a month and totally cleared up. Like, I never had it. Incredible. And as soon as I was off it, or the dose got lower and lower, I started to see these outbreaks to where my shoulders started to flare up, my neck started to flare up, my face got dry again. And now it's like, damn, I don't want to be resorting to pills, because I know that my body is just going to fight it at a point to where there's like, I'm going to have the strongest, most yoked eczema out here that is just going to murder me.
The MRSAs of all freaking
dude, it's going to be
eczemas.
like, it's going to be like stage 4.
Stage 4 eczema.
Like the first case of it. And I decided to go to more natural things. So start taking CBD.
Are you taking some have you taken any anti-inflammatory substance?
So
I'm like turmeric?
No.
No.
I started I did my research, which I never do. So I saw that eggs were a big factor to eczema flare-ups. So I cut eggs. And eggs would be a daily thing, whether I get a burrito, whether I eat like six of them in the morning. It'd be a daily routine for me.
That's funny, bro. You would think that eggs
Right?
help out, are not good for eczema.
No,
good for eczema?
It flared up. Yeah.
Wow, you're so lame,
just-
dude.
You're white. You coconut.
Oh my gosh.
Shouts. So I stopped that and I started to take CBD oil, just 50 milligrams in the morning, 50 at night. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I started to see a difference. I told my mom before I left today, I was like, Mom, I feel a difference. My body doesn't feel as flared up, as rashy as it's been after I started to get off these steroids. So this anti-inflammatory diet that I'm on right now, it's basically looking into more whole foods, more fruit, more vegetables, more fish rather than red meats, and more, I guess, natural carbs like quinoa, brown rice.
What about like bread is a big one. I know that bread and wheat is bad for inflammation regardless.
I stopped eating bread. I kind of cut it, which kind of sucks because Red Robin. But
that's fine, bro.
Once in a while, don't hurt.
Yeah, every once in a while.
And so it's like I honestly, one of my favorite lunches is like chicken quinoa and like some hot sauce and an avocado, and fire, just absolute
straight gas, bro.
Yeah, straight gas. 10 out of 10. Try it. And so definitely health and fitness is one thing because I'm a scrawny little Mick Iceberg. I'm a skinny. I'm an ice cube right now. That's what. But I want to pack on some muscle in a good way because I like to stay in shape for when I'm older. Kind of get a routine down while I'm young, so while I get older, I can play with my kids and have fun activities. In my late roaring 20s. But
well, and we'll touch base on it later. But
yeah,
it's discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline and being disciplined in what it is that you in your diet and what's going to help you in your life. And there was a quote that I heard, and we'll bring it up again later. But it's discipline is just choosing between what you want now and what you want most.
Yeah.
And obviously, you want that diet, you want that structure to your life to where it's going to benefit you and your kids and everybody in the future.
Yeah, because a big part of it was I would just kind of depend on steroid cream and medicine to kind of fix this when I never really took a step back and said, shit, maybe it's something I'm doing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something that I'm just so stupid and I'm not taking the time to do my own research, which I didn't have to. I made an appointment.
Ignorant.
Yeah, it's ignorant. I made an appointment with my dermatologist, and that's next month. So I would have had to wait a full 2 months, and it's just like I want to go up to her and be like, you know what? I fixed it without your help.
Me,
all
me,
by myself. So it's like some like that, which kind of sparked my interest more and more to where it's like, if you want to kind of get something done, if you want to figure something out for yourself, you could do it. You don't have to go up like just with everything with health or some in school or like.
I mean, obviously you have a broke ass fucking leg. Go to the doctor.
No, yeah, if you have that.
I'm just nah, bro, you can splint it.
Yeah, you can splint it and I'm gonna pour milk on it.
Eggs are the factor.
But the Josh, we were talking about it at work the other day, kind of like we always do when it's slow as fuck because no one's coming in the door.
Gang.
Except
that was yesterday.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But we were talking about it. And like you brought up earlier, how we were just all kind of sitting down, and I get on this guy over here, the Schmedium Santi over here, because I just want him to know that someone here is it's trying to push him.
Yeah,
it's trying to push him, and he needs to have someone hold him accountable besides himself. And that's why I got frustrated and then asked you the question. It was like, what it is, what is it that you want to do? Because you and I, like, we've never really had the conversation. You hear us talk about it all the time, but we've never had the conversation. But yeah, you definitely took a minute. You took several minutes to
come up, a lot of yelling
to come up with something, some sort of
an answer.
Some sort of answer, and all I remember you saying was that you want to do something for other people.
Right.
And it's weird. It's weird how everybody that's sitting at this table has some sort of passion for helping other people.
Mm-hmm.
See, so whether it's through whether it's through music or direct charity like Schmedium Santi over there wants to do, whether it's through weightlifting or podcasts, like something that what I'm doing and what I'm on, and eventually how I would like to put a book out or go on circuit and be a motivational speaker or something like that. That was something that you actually said that you want to do.
Oh yeah.
And then we just kind of thought about it a little bit more.
It's like, where's your proof?
But
What have you done? I got out of bed this morning.
But
that was tough.
But you said, I don't know how it was. Do you remember how it was that we got to the fact that you wanted to do comedy?
Because you were like, what do you like? And I was like, I mean, kind of like, I like the idea of a stand-up comic. And you go, that's it. That's what you're going to do. I could see more than anyone I've ever met. I could see you doing that.
That's what happened.
He said, you got the body type for it. And I was like, all right.
Just some tall
white dude.
Nerd. Irish guy.
Yeah. Tall Mick.
Tall Mick.
Oh my gosh, guys. They're going to ban me in certain places.
Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
That's not that bad.
So it's
there's a show on Fox about it, about the Mick.
Yeah. So it's like stuff like that, and that's what I was telling Santiago on the way here. I was like, I'm actually glad that like we have conversations like that. I was like, because honestly, the only person that I have conversations like that is with Santiago. It's like no one ever really presses it or pushes it or like kind of gets in your face, and it's like, what do you want to do? And if you're like oh, I don't know, I'll just wait until it comes up, it's like, then it's too late. I looked up like stand-up, like starting up as a stand-up comic, and it was Bill Burr saying that this like successful 6-figure like businessman was like, oh, like I kind of felt like I wasted away my early years and like I could have been pretty good at it and everything. He's like, so what should I do? He's like, all right, well, stand-up comedy, it sucks. Like, it's hard, it's tough. You want to cry, you want to like you just want to quit all the time. It's a low 5 figures. He's like, but it's so rewarding. And the better you get at it, you're enjoying it more and more. And he was like, so what you're going to do is you're going to keep that well-paying job so you don't lose your family and your sanity, and you're going to do some shows on the low. You're going to do them at night. You're going to get that, that low 5-figure salary or check or whatever, and tack that onto your 6 figures. But he's like, if you start at a young age, you could build up to be something good with it. But if you start out too late, you're going to blow it. If you waste away your perfectly comfortable job, you're going to blow it because you're not going to like where it's taking you. But if you start out from nothing and you work your way up, that's how it's going to work. So it's like, it's crazy how we think about stuff like this at two 20-year-olds and a 22-year-old, to where it's like the ambition and it's like the drive.
I mean,
it's like,
I think we just don't want to waste our life.
No.
Going back to Rocky, in that single scene, and I brought it up with you on the way here too, just talking about how who was the owner of the
it's like
the club,
Of what club?
of that club, the really old guy who trains. Mickey.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it's Mickey.
Was it Mickey?
Yeah.
Oh shoot,
Mick.
But yeah, no, it was Mickey. Because Rocky went in and Mickey told him that there was someone who came by and left him a little note and everything, and he was talking about how he's working this crap job now, and Rocky responds with, "It's a living," but Mickey responds back with, "It's a waste of life."
Yeah.
I think we have.
Oh, because Rocky himself, he was a.
He's like making pizzas, right?
He's a debt collector.
He's a
for
debt
like
collector,
a gangster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. So yeah, like you said, he was breaking necks, breaking necks,
Breaking necks, checks.
snapping checks.
No, it's breaking checks, snapping necks, but whatever it is.
Snapping. Wait.
Mix it up.
Oh no, snapping necks and cashing checks. That's what it is. That's what it is. But yeah, so I don't know. I think we've been blessed though with the fact that we've come across each other and we've actually been able to, I guess, figure out what that means to us, really.
It kind of dawned on me right now. It's like I got friends in college to where they're in the same place, and it's like they're just going there to go. Like I always took college as like, okay, like I'm gonna make my degree my backup plan because it's comfortable. It's something that I could depend on. But at the same time, I only thought about starting getting out there with whatever I wanted to do passionately after I graduated. So that's like 22 years old. That's 2 years gone.
That's a total of 4 years gone.
Yeah, to where it's like I could start now, continue to go to school, but work around it. And if things look good, I can always come back. I could take a semester off, see where I want to do.
That's what we've talked about, though. It's like you can always go back to school. You can always get another shitty job. You can always do that. I think we're focusing on the fact that we are young as a benefit, and definitely. I mean, when you think of time as a resource like Interstellar, when you think of time as a resource, we do have a lot of time, but there are people out there who don't have a lot of time, or they have less time and they have responsibilities. And it in no way, shape, or form does it take away from the fact that they can do what it is that they want to do.
Right.
It's all about it's really all about taking a chance. Mm-hmm. So it's really difficult, but all those hitters out there that are, older than we are, I know it's easier said than done, but there's and obviously I'm not telling you to go out and quit your job to start stand-up comedy when you have a family, you have responsibilities, but there's nothing stopping you from learning from the ground up. Yeah. There's nothing stopping you from doing something extra in the direction that you want to go to see what that would turn out, what that would turn into. Right. I think I spoke to my friend Kyle earlier. I'll have him on the show one time. He runs this company called American Viking, and they do a lot with mental health. But him and I were just talking about how I had a PR, I had a personal best on push press today at like 155 times 2, and last week I hit 150 for 1 for a PR. So I hit 5 more kilos and hit it for 2. So obviously I'm a lot stronger than I think I am. And he's a strong man. He was looking at what I was doing. He was looking at my footwork, and he's like, I almost died on, my back was breaking. I was losing it, and I was going to fall forward. And I told him, he's like, I love watching that footwork. And I was like, yeah, until I die. He goes, everyone dies. And then I said, I told him that weightlifting is going to kill me. But I'll be okay with that. And then he said that there are worse ways to die. Mm-hmm. There are worse ways to die than doing the thing that you love. So to everybody out there, who has those responsibilities and has those things that they are working on right now, no one's telling you can't do it. No one's telling you can't go out and learn. And no one's stopping you from learning. And if it's somebody in your life that's stopping you, telling you no, I don't know. You might want to revisit.
Reprioritize.
You might want to reprioritize. You want to figure out what those notebooks are of your life. When you break down your life.
Sick analogy.
Sick. But yeah, Josh, so we ended up talking about comedy. We ended up talking about how you want to do stand-up comedy. Yes. And then I asked you, what it is. How can you start? How can you do it? Right. What can you do now to get you in that position?
So I said that as soon as school starts back up, very shortly, that what I could do is I actually met with the Improv Comedy Club, and I kind of was like, at first, this is my answer. She's like, oh, have you ever done improv before? I was like, oh yeah, all the time. She's like, when? I was like, in class where I don't know an answer. And I was like, I kill it at this shit. And she was like, oh, okay, that's not what really. Well, she was like, she was like, all right, leave. So I'm gonna go up there again. Hopefully she doesn't remember me. My smart ass. And like
this fucking guy.
Just like a picture of me. And I'll say that, I want to join it. I want to try to get this thing started. And So from there, start that up, go a semester, try to during the semester on like the weekend or something, go see like a live improv show, maybe try to see what's down in San Diego for like clubs and everything. Actually get like some firsthand experience on like what they look like, how they do, how a crowd reacts and everything. And then hopefully by winter break, try to go do my own.
Remember, you're gonna suck.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm
gonna suck for a really long time.
I said
Everyone
something in
sucks.
the car today, and it was quiet. And I went, boom, boom, on the stereo. I was like, all right, so what's next? I was like, wow, that didn't hit worth a shit. So I was like, all right,
Well,
that hurt.
It was
But like, it goes to music. I remember watching some on Dylan Francis. It's like, what do you do if people aren't dancing your set? And he's like, that hurts. But it comes back to, everyone starts at a place to where you don't know what you're doing. You got to start from the ground up. And kind of working at my previous job, I had to figure that out. He said there's no script. There's nothing that we could teach you, how you can interact with people. It's all going to be through you. And within weeks working there, I was easily becoming one of the favorites because I actually gave a shit about these people. I would have an honest conversation to where my coworker got mad at me because
what was that you did?
I was a bellman. So I was a bellman for about 7 months, and that had a lot of great benefits besides sleep deprivation. I learned to have the confidence to spark up conversation. Even though it's my job to kind of talk, I really don't have to talk. I can go to help you to your room silent. And I took the job because I wanted to help people. I wanted to talk with people all day. I wanted to know people. So after that, 7 months go by, and I saw how people started to remember me. One lady who I helped her my 3rd day working there, 4 months down the line, she goes, "Oh, do you remember me?" I was like, Of course I do. And I just had zero clue who this woman was. She was like, "Yeah, I was here like your 3rd day working." I was like, how stupid does that sound for me to remember you? It was like a 5-minute interaction, but whatever.
Hey, she remembered you.
Yeah, it was a good-looking kid.
So
I was
she
19-year-old. It was 19-year-old. The oldest dude was 30, and everyone in between was just nah.
She wanted a little bit. She wanted a little bit of that Josh.
I'll be honest. Working at hotels,
She wanted
Some of that iceberg,
She
bro.
wanted the tip of the iceberg.
No, she wanted to see the 90% iceberg.
Working in a hotel is weird though. Like I was offered to drink. I was offered to do shots with some Marines, some vets, and which I thought was super cool. But it was a tequila shot. I've never had tequila. Still haven't because I'm underage. And
She
instantly took that away. I was offered sex. One lady goes, so
as a tip or like
no, so
was
for
gonna tip
more
you?
money,
Oh.
she's like, here's 20. If I give you more, can you give me more? I was like, I get you some extra ice. I get you like another pillow. Like she's like
mean?
I don't think we're on the same page. I was like, nope. I got an extra $20 and I left. And I was
was
like,
she cute?
no.
Oh.
It was
Wow.
a
Okay,
gamble.
so he's prejudiced.
Yeah,
You
he's
suck.
asshole,
No, I mean,
bro.
Ass.
I'll check this out. I said an old woman was hot once. She was
Is that
like,
weird?
She goes.
This is a bunch of hot old ladies.
No,
bro.
no. She was not. It was just like oh, once you get old, you get cold. I was like, yeah, but you're hot. And she was like, okay. And I was like,
She'd be like, shut up.
shoot.
Shut up and break that fucking hip. Watch me.
Trying to roundhouse your hip.
Jeez.
Okay, Josh. So I mean, and it's funny because I was thinking about it too, because there was a small part when I had gotten hurt, like when I had gotten hurt, and I was thinking about like whether or not weightlifting was going to be the thing that I did, because I was on it, like I was really scared.
Yeah.
I was really scared about whether like I was going to come back from it, and thank the Lord, thank Satan, thank whoever. Whoever it is that you believe
Baby
in.
Jesus and Tom Cruise.
Whoever it is that you believe in, thank them. But, I got at least majority of my wrist back. I'm still waiting, Satan. But I just remember listening to a lot of stand up. That's when I first got into podcasts too. I started listening to Tom Segura's podcast, and we've listened to that a couple times, and then I started listening to Bill Burr's podcast, and it, like, that has really influenced, like, just the fact that I started doing a podcast like that, and then Joe Rogan and all that kind of stuff. But I looked into doing stand up, and there used to be a comedy club out here, and I was hoping that it was still here, but it's not. But it's not. And it's funny because in this day and age, it's not, to be a comedian, to make people laugh, you don't necessarily have to go out and do stand up. Like, you can do stuff on Instagram, you can do stuff on YouTube, you can do stuff on Twitter that make people laugh, and the same way where you're thinking about charity, if you're making people laugh, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. But you over there, bud, little medium schmanty.
Chongo.
What Chongo. That's right, Chongo. That's
Chongo.
Right. That guy was cool.
That guy was gnarly, man.
That guy was Chongo.
He was something.
Chongo over there. What is it that you have to do? What do you have to do to get that bread?
To get that bread, get that money,
Make that dough.
Make my life worth it more than anything.
I mean, bread could really mean anything. Like bread could just mean more
bread.
bread.
Get that.
Like bread could just
Quinoa's
honestly
not bread.
It's
bread,
carbs.
Bread could just mean like your satisfaction, being happy.
Definitely.
Pan dulce, dude. Pan dulce is bread.
That's bread.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Fire.
Yeah, it is pretty fire. But I'm figuring it out right now. I'm definitely you've been there to kind of scold me, and let me know that
you're being an asshole.
Pretty much, but the sheer I mean, just thinking about how I need a laptop to produce, to do something along those lines. I definitely don't. I've done what I could to I've started playing the keys a little bit more, trying to learn songs, trying to listen and just gauge where it is, because I did take a music course. Unfortunately got a D in it, but that was more so because there was an assignment.
D's get
rather
degrees.
Than,
degree starts with D.
I wish that were the truth.
No, that's not the fact.
That's
Take
not
from me.
Anyone who's listening who's trying to go to college, that's not how you get in. but just trying to have an ear out for it. And man, I'm hungry lately I haven't had a phone. I think we covered that on the last podcast.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to really.
Get a phone.
I'm working on it.
He doesn't have a phone. He doesn't have a laptop to make music on. So he's got to do the old fucking fashioned way and learn how to play some goddamn instruments real quick.
I'm learning some instruments right now. So
Did you ever play an instrument?
I played. No, I didn't.
Recorder back in second grade.
Yeah, bro, I was hot at that shit, bro.
Flute.
I can still play fucking Yankee Doodle Dandy, bro.
I played trumpet and French horn.
Fucking nerd.
I had to quit that before high school. I was like, this is not my life. Walking into basketball practice with your trumpet, bro. I was like,
I mean, like, I used
hide it.
Like before, like in middle school and high school, like before middle school or before high school and middle school, I was a writer. I was like an avid writer where I would like write poems and like just write stories and draw. So,
Nerd.
That was good. Shut up.
Girls at the
yeah, no, but I was doing that kind of. Yeah, that's what it was. I was writing a lot and I was doing a lot of stuff, and I had just like I had written books. Like small little books, and drawn them in like kindergarten and like first grade, like full books, and like stapled it all together, even though they were dog shit. And then in middle school, I would draw comics. Like I would draw comics and like just do comic books. My fucking
he's looking like Jonah Hill and
just a bunch of
Superman. Just found this. What do you call it? This journal of just
dicks.
Yeah.
Just dick journal. No, my main character, his name was Pie Man, bro. Pie Man and Brownie Boy. I still remember that shit, bro.
Dude, I remember that.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, no way.
Dude, I put out comics, bro.
Do you still have it?
Dude.
Somewhere. There's somewhere around
Holy
here.
smokes. I remember reading them.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's like...
That's nuts,
What were their
dude.
adventures?
Just fighting,
Fighting fucking
Bro, because you always,
healthiness.
dude,
just fighting back, fighting gluten,
They're beating Kale's
fighting
ass,
cholesterol and shit. Oh my gosh.
beating down blood sugar and shit.
go away, diabetes. No, but like, hey, it's funny how that kind of stuff that I did before, and we were talking about it too, about how creativity, how when you grow up and things start getting a little bit more real, your creativity dies.
I never thought. I stopped thinking about
Yeah,
being a comedian.
It just goes away.
in like 8th grade freshman year, just because I was like, all right, like I can make people laugh, but like the severity of it, I just kind of, it dwindled to where I everyone was like, oh, what do you want to do as a career? What do you? I was like, oh, fucking throw that card out, and it's like, oh, sales. And then it's like, no, that's trash.
Well, when you think about it, it's like, when do you have time? Like in high school and middle school, all you have is time to just fucking dick around and really not do much.
Yeah.
Like everything's taken care of for you, and honestly, like I can honestly say that, everything. I mean, as much as everything was taken care of for me and doing sports and all that stuff, like I still had a bunch of time, and I never did anything with it. I was just focused solely on football and just being a fucking teenager, and that was the thing that.
Yeah.
It wasn't until afterwards where I got kicked out and I had to get a job and all that stuff, where it's like, where do you have time for that now?
Yeah.
So now it's like the only thing that I have time for, that I make time for, is my weightlifting and this, but I would love to start writing again. I would love to start, I would love to read more. I love to do all that stuff, but not, I have to fucking drive an hour, be at work for 8 hours, and drive back. And by the time I get home, it's like,
You're exhausted.
Yeah, no, it's like, where's the day gone?
Yeah.
And again, time is a resource. Time is something you don't get back.
And honestly, it's I can see what you mean by like, it's tough to get stuff done at work. It's like, yeah, we're just standing around, but at the same time, you're like, I just want to go. Like, I just want to get out. So it's like,
it's scary. Like, those days where you step outside, and that's the first time you step outside in 8 hours, or you might step out one time if you go to lunch, but sometimes you bring your lunch, you don't fucking step outside for 8 hours, and then you step outside and you feel
you're not sick anymore.
Yeah, you feel the air, and it's like, oh
weird.
God, like, oh, there's the sun.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's the moon.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy, but yeah, really, like, honestly, sometimes real life kills your creativity, and it does kill your creativity, and the people. And I'm blessed to have something like this where I can just do this. And I think I told you about, the other jobs and stuff that I had where I was where I had to start doing like video production and a previous podcast. And it's like, I have the freedom to do something like that. I can be creative now. So it's fun when you get a hold of that. So, and for everybody out there, even if you're creative or not, don't lose that side of you. You have to make time. You definitely have to make the time to do that kind of stuff, to do that stuff that was fun for you as a kid, But I guess at the end of the day with this comedy thing, Josh, and your music, it's all about taking risk. It's taking a risk, and the same thing and I talked about it on the last podcast where, I'm getting that coaching certificate going to the seminar in hopes I know I'm going to get it, because I'm going to fucking do what I have to get it. Yeah. To get my, my USAW level 1, and at some point, I leave where we're at now, leave the job that we're at now, to take a step forward in the direction. And I'm leaving a good spot. To do something to make less money, but it's something I love to do. Yeah. So it's, what was it? We were looking at Instagram. I think Gary Vee popped up. Yes. Gary Vee popped up and he said, if you're looking at this, if you're in college right now and you're looking at this video and you're going to college for business and you're just fucking racking up debt, quit right now. Shit. He's like, obviously you need lawyers and doctors and all that stuff. Lawyers and doctors, you need to go to school. But if you're going for business, like if you're going, I guess you can kind of break it down. Like if you're going to college for business, but if you're going to college for you know, if you're going to college at the same time where your journey is going to take you somewhere else where you don't even need it.
Yeah.
Why are you there? You know, and it's about taking risks. It's about taking risks, the necessary risk, and it's about getting out there and trying to get that bread, any way you can.
Yeah,
whatever kind of bread it is, whether it's, you know, gluten free, it's potato bread, whatever, bro. You just need that. You need that thing. You need to go out.
No, yeah, and one thing that you said, you're like, you guys live comfortable, and I was like, damn, like I do. Like that's a tough pill to swallow.
Hard
damn
to
it.
swallow. It
but
really
like,
is.
it's kind of like after hearing it, and that's why like I appreciate, you know, our talks, because it's like it's nitty gritty. It's fucking like, ugh, I don't want to talk, but at the same time, then you yell and you're like, fuck, I have an answer. But it's like, you know, yeah, like I see too many people live comfortable to where it's like, you know what? I've had friends that get in a car accident. They got a new car. They like, as soon as I started working because I felt like a piece of shit just asking my parents, hey, can I have like some money? I'm going out tonight. Hey, can I do this? I was like, this is stupid. This is like almost pathetic.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? I want it. And I still know people that
They're
still just,
100%.
still know people that it's like, oh yeah, like we're planning something for the future. And it's like, we want to do it 100% by ourselves. And it's like,
remember, it's one thing to talk about it.
yeah.
But the other thing is to actually be about it.
Right. And you know, after you know, making payments and everything, you know, I'm on the crumbs of the bank account right now. Back to the crumbs.
It's all about bread.
Yeah.
Breadcrumbs.
About the quinoa.
You had
quinoa
toast,
pieces.
bro. You
Quinoa
toasted
toast.
that thing. That
Dude, my bank account's toast. But it's like, you know, living comfortable, I kind of like the ambition of not living as comfortable. I like it in my head, but it's like I actually got to fucking do it. I gotta get out there and be like, shit, I don't like this right now. And it's like I still have the opportunity to go back to my house and still be able to live under my parents' roof and all that, and you know, just be put in an uncomfortable position on my own terms rather than on someone else's. You know, I know in your case it's like you had to like nut up. You had to kind of like get it together and be like, oh shit, like I kind of got to do this right now. But it's like for us, you know, we're still kind of just chilling, you know, on our own terms. So it's like, you know what, I don't see why we couldn't put ourselves in the position of being like, fuck man, like we gotta just do this. We gotta just kind of nut up and kind of get fucking laughed at and get booed off stage or something and kind of just do it.
Some
definitely.
men are born great. Some men have greatness thrust upon them. That's the way you got to look at it. It's if there's one there was one thing that I heard. There's one thing I heard that it stuck out. It was no good man has ever come from a great home. You know, no good man has ever come from a great home.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, if you think about it through history, notoriously most kings, most princes, all kind of end up being a bunch of fuckboys because they've just been spoon fed
Yeah.
from a silver spoon. They're being fed fucking caviar, you know, from goddamn sturgeons from Alaska, bro. But you know, it's if you think about it, you know, and it is if you are comfortable, if there's no real struggle in there, then that's why we do sports. That's why that's what sports teaches you. But that's another thing. That's what real life experience teaches you. That's what firsthand experience teaches you. Is like when you go out and do some shit like that, when you go out and get booed off stage, or when you are, you know, you're on a team, and it's up to you. You know, there's different. You're a team unit. Your whole team sucks. Your whole team's good. Or it's one of those things where it's like, it's up to you, bro. Like, it's up to you. And if you fuck it up, like, you're going to learn real quick what it's like to be resilient, or you're going to learn, you know, what it is to crumble. But I think I told you the thing that Bill Burr said about the futon, like that futon story where, you know, you're sitting there in bed with a wife that you don't really love with some kids, in a job that you don't love.
Yeah.
You know, when you're fantasizing about being on that futon again in your 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
You know, there's no risk to going after your dreams. There's only risks about playing it safe.
Oh, yeah, and like I was saying, that video that I watched on Bill Burr about the dude that's making six figures, he's like, I wish I could go back and act on my dreams when I was younger. I had more energy and all that. And he was just like, you can't have that back. You can't go back in time.
Time's a resource.
But at the same time, it's like, you're kind of like Gary Vee. Gary Vee preaches how you're never too young to start doing something.
Yeah, never too old to start doing something.
Yeah, sorry, never too old. He's like,
Or
he's
young.
like,
Or
oh,
young.
you're in
No,
your. He's like, oh,
I
you're
know
in your.
he talks about being young and dumb and not knowing, like, you don't have to know what.
He's like, oh, you're in your 30s. Welcome to your 40s, and you're like, oh shit, like,
fuck. Thanks, Gary. But yeah, man, taking risks is definitely something that we gotta talk about. That you have to embody. That you have to really be willing to do if you want to take steps forward. And if there's one thing that I've learned from for the people around me, it's there's one thing to take risks, and then there's another thing to not take risks. And this young hitter Santi over here, he has a conversation. He's going to talk about a conversation that he and our grandfather had a little bit earlier about something that kind of it's kind of funny in retrospect when you think about it, how the interests are the same. But what is it, bro? What is it?
It was just, my grandpa pulled me aside after I had just mentioned really that you know, I want to make music, and he then asked me, he's like, hey, what do you think about singing? And I told him, you know, I don't think I have the greatest voice, but
that's not true, bro. I've heard him sing something.
Know,
he just need to practice, bro. He just need to practice.
Yeah. So we'll see. You know, given good time, and you know, when I just need to get there. But this story he told me was really about an opportunity that was missed. And he just really wanted to ensure that, you know, I understand what it is to pursue after something, to persevere. And he was telling me that, you know, when he worked back in Mexico City, he saw that there was some competition. He had explained it kind of similar to what we know as like The Voice over here in the States. And he went, you know, he participated, and it was funny. He was talking about how there was a bell that they would ring when they wanted you off the stage. So pretty much they're kicking you off. Mm-hmm. And he got up there and he started singing, but along the lines, he bombed and he forgot the words, the lyrics to the song that he was singing. And so, you know, immediately that bell just started ringing. That bell just started going off, and you know, it sucked for him. But he got off the stage, and there was actually a man who was waiting for him off the stage, and gave him pretty much a business card with an address on it. And he told my grandpa, he's like, hey, I do really see potential, and I want you to swing by this address. We're gonna see about, you know, getting those vocals up, and pretty much just figuring out, you know, if we can get you signed, if we can get you up to that level that we want you to be at. And so he actually didn't take that opportunity. He sat there, and you know, he didn't think that he was good enough, and he was a shy guy, you know what I mean? And you know, for all you shy guys out there, you just gotta get out there. Don't say that. That's mean. That's
gotta be a hitter.
But you just gotta. I mean, we constantly talk about taking risks, and you know, it's always if that's the biggest risk that there is for you, I'm gonna tell you, you know, what's the worst that can happen is, you know, you get told no or whatever it may be, man. It's just you gotta get out there. So you know, that was an opportunity missed, and I explained to to the big boy C over here, just explaining how what if he had taken that opportunity? What if he had capitalized on that? And what would come of us?
I think it's different. I think I don't know. Like I'm personally, like I said, I'm personally invested in the thought that that everything happens for a reason. Whether it's God, whether it's Satan, whether it's Zeus, whoever it is that's sitting there controlling the tides. Obviously, Grandpa didn't do it for a reason. Now, whatever reason that is his own, and then whatever came of it has spawned us. So on one hand, it's like have you guys seen Coco?
Yes.
Oh, plenty of times.
Saw it.
A plethora.
Yeah.
A plethora.
A lot of times. So like the spoiler alert. I just gotta give it a second. Let everyone log off if they haven't. Skip forward. But he's the it's the worst spoiler ever because I don't know their names. But the guy, the main character, like the kid, and then he finds out like that if he found out that one guy was thinking that it was his grandpa, the dead one, the big dead one, the big superstar. Now just imagine what his life would have been if that money was there, if that status was there, if that family was there. Just think about all of that. Like his life would be completely different. And he maybe wouldn't be into music, or maybe he wouldn't be, because it's like it's all there.
Definitely.
Like kids tend to want to do the opposite,
Yeah.
So if Grandpa would have done it, and he would have taken that step and would have pursued that, and something good would have come out of it, maybe we're not here. And
that's the point. That's where it's. I think it's just it really hit me hard, and.
But think about the other side.
It was. What about the other side?
So the other side is, if because he didn't do it.
Well, it's
we're here.
It would be a shame if we were to not do what it is that we loved.
We learn
exactly.
We learn from that experience. We learn from what it is that he did. He didn't do it.
He didn't do. Yeah.
He didn't do it. So fucking how many years down the road? 40, 50 years. His second oldest male grandson, who's involved in music, who wants to be involved in music, can ask his grandpa and have him tell him that story and be like, hey, like, I didn't do it. Now you should. Fuck it. Do it.
Balls to the walls.
Balls to the walls, bro.
Yeah, man.
Balls to the walls. Okay, so I got I have another guest coming in to touch on that little story with his personal story. Let's see if he's available. Let's see if he's ready. Oh, it didn't do it.
I say you have to be like this.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back from that momentary pause. Okay, so the Gaucho's back. The Gaucho's back. He's here. I don't know why he's trying to throw these headphones on. None of them are connected. But here,
it's because I want to hear myself. There you go.
Can
See
hear yourself. Yeah,
I can hear myself.
I know. Okay,
it's great.
We just talked about Santiago and my grandfather on our side, not your side. That's your divorced wife's side. You hate her, right? Right? Say it. Put it out there.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's been so many years. I was married. I didn't even know that. I forgot.
But we were talking about how there was it's just funny in a weird time sort of way where it's just kind of ironic. But Santiago is invested in music. He wants to get into music, and then we have our grandfather. Back in the day, he goes to a competition for music to sing, kind of like American Idol, kind of like The Voice, that kind of stuff. And then they're like, "You suck, get the fuck out of here."
Right.
And then some guy offers him a card,
right,
and is like, "Hey, we want you to get better.
Right.
And then Grandpa didn't take that opportunity. And, you know, where could his life have been if it had and if it hadn't? But I know that you have a similar story, and I know that it's could be powerful to people who are listening to it. And from your standpoint, what is that thing that happened? What did you do?
Well, I think in particular the issue that happened is I think we were talking about missed opportunities, right? And where if you would have said
Not taking a risk, missed opportunities. Yeah.
yeah. So I think it was almost 20 years ago. I remember I went on a trip with my dad and my brother. We ended up going to some, I don't know, Florida or something like that. And anywhere that I remember traveling to, I would always carry books with me at the time. Now it's all digital, but at the time I would carry books, physical books that I would open up and read. And I remember on the way back from one of the trips, I had, and this was back in 1988, 99 or something like that. All right, I had bought a book from the bookstore. You guys, everybody remembers bookstores?
Well, bookstore. Barnes and Noble's still a big thing.
Yeah, it is. It's still around. But I ended up buying a book on e-commerce.
You're only 42.
Yeah, I know. Seems like a long time ago, though. It was a book on e-commerce. So it was a business book. It was a book on e-commerce. And I remember that I was reading the book, and this lady next to me was kind of like interested about what I was reading. She said, "What is that?" And I said, "It's e-commerce. You know, it's like going to be the big what?"
On the plane?
Yeah.
Or in the bookstore?
On the plane. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got the book from the bookstore, and I was reading it on the plane. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. So the lady, you sit next to some people on the plane, so she was kind of like, "What is that?" And I explained to her, I said, "It's this cool book about e-commerce. Like, it's a business book. I'm interested in business, and I'm interested in the internet, whatever this is." I wasn't even sure what it was yet. And I'm like, this is just seems a little exciting and blah, blah, blah. And she was kind of like, "Wow, you seem very passionate about what you're saying." And she goes, "How about this? How about give me your information, and I like to get together with my husband also, and we could discuss, maybe something regarding the business on the internet." And I said, "Great." And so,
you know who that lady was? Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
Hey, I was gonna say that next. No,
I'm funny. I'm funny, bro. I'm funnier than you,
dude.
And quicker.
Really?
Yeah.
You just interrupted my story. Anything else you would like to interrupt before I continue?
Go continue.
All right, thanks. And so the lady ends up calling me probably a week later or so. Why is it always a week? It's probably like 3 days, but people always say a week. I'll go with a week. It was a week.
Several hours later.
And I remember, I don't know what I was doing or something where she called. And so I remember I told somebody, I think it was my sister or something at the time. I said, "Just take a message." And my sister comes back and says, "The lady said that this is only a one-time opportunity type of thing." And something inside me prevented me from like, I don't want to deal with this type of thing. So I said, "Just take a message." That was it. That was the last time I ever heard from that lady, and I didn't have her information. So she had just contacted me because I gave her my information, and so she contacted me, and I sat there. Obviously, years later, at the time, I really didn't even think about it because I was like, "Oh, I'm trying to avoid it." And after a while, I said, "Well, I don't know who she was."
You know who that lady was?
Who knows?
Melinda Gates.
Steve Jobs' wife.
Steve Jobs didn't have a wife.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't. He didn't like her.
No, he did have a wife.
He
got married.
He didn't
later.
like her though.
Oh my gosh, you're talking about somebody else.
All right.
Anyways, the point is that those are the missed opportunity type of things where it's like I didn't know what it could have been, right? What could have transpired from that interaction, and those are the things that every single day people are interacting with somebody, right? Everybody's interacting with somebody. You're meeting somebody somehow, some way, and you don't know how that person, if there's an opportunity for something, and even, business or relationships, doesn't matter, but you don't know where that could go.
Put your phone down. I think that's a big one because I got to say after not having a phone for these last 2 weeks, dude, I've talked to so many more people
Really?
than I have.
Really?
Yeah. It's
look at
pretty
that.
like, cause I mean, think about that. Like I mean, I was standing in line at like a clinic, and it was just like, oh, what am I gonna do? There was a line,
to
and it was
somebody?
like exactly like, why would I talk to someone? Gosh, man, like
You
you
actually
know,
have
so
to,
it's
you have
like,
to look up. What?
yeah, man, it was just crazy. It was just crazy. So I think that's a huge tip for people though. Put your phone down.
Well, that was one of the first things. Like before I started my first day in college, I stumbled upon this video, and it's like, you want to do something that's gonna make a difference in your college career. Put down your phone. Put down your phone when you're walking around. Put down your phone when you get into class and all that. And I was like, okay, like maybe I'll give it a shot. So my first class, everyone walks in, sits down, immediately on their phone, checking social media, all that. And I was like sitting there, just kind of like, all right, I want to check my phone too, but I'm going to talk to this random person right next to me and hopefully make a friend. And she became one of my friends. I'm still friends to like this day. And I was like, all right, like this is how it's going to be done. And if you walk on campus, you see how many people are on their phones putting down. I've tried to make eye contact with people, not to be like weird because I'm wearing sunglasses, but like at the same time, like they would look at you and immediately look down. And I've done it too. There's been times where it's like, all right, I just want to not have this moment. But it's crazy how many people don't want to talk nowadays. To where even working as a bellman, you know, there'd be times where it's kind of like poking the bear, and people just don't want to talk. You know, they'll be like having a bad day or something. Like one of my biggest stories was this woman didn't want to talk. By the end of a 15-minute conversation, she told me so much about her personal life that I was like, damn, walking in here 15 minutes ago, I would have not guessed this is what you're going through right now. It's just crazy.
That's the one that wanted to have sex with you, right?
It was not.
That's the one that was like, hey, I'll give you $20 for.
She's like, I'll give you 40 for the iceberg, for the Mick, for Mini Mick.
No, you know, and that's interesting about that comment about the phone thing. I've snuck up on Bailey a couple of times, and she's been on her phone, and she's like, "Stop sneaking up on me." I'm like, you know how easy it could be to just like
Murder you.
Kill you.
done.
That's
You're done
Just
right
murder
now.
you
That's a
right now.
Because you're so into your phone about what's happening on Instagram
That's a
that
serial
I could
killer
just-
thing to say, bro.
Hey.
You know how easy it'd be for me to snap your fucking neck right now?
easy it gonna be to sneak up on you.
No, hey,
Fucking kill you.
something to touch on before I head out, because I guess that was it. That was all you needed.
That's
before.
all I needed you for.
Was something regarding what Santiago was saying was about your grandpa. So my dad, he talks about
So not our grandpa.
Not our
but
grandpa.
my grandpa.
yeah, exactly, and he talks about something happened to him in his early to mid 20s. He was going to school to be a DJ at the time, so disc jockey, right? Playing radio, you know, on the radio and stuff like that. And he was actually at, if I recall, SDSU in San Diego, right?
Sick.
So he was kind of attending the school about that and so on and so on. And he had somebody that was kind of like a mentor that was there and said, hey, man, you know, I could help you out with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And he ended up going to school, and he got his certificate to be a DJ. The one thing that I recall him telling me is, because I asked him, I said, hey, what happened? You know, how come you didn't pursue being a DJ or further the education? And at the time, he said that his mom, okay, and this is where the parents come into play. His mom said, why are you even bothering with that? Like, you're already old. And he was only in his early, mid-20s, early 20s, mid-20s. And it's like, that completely sent him to another place that he didn't want to be. Basically, he wanted to be a DJ, and he liked talking on the radio. He had a voice for the radio and stuff like that. So it's funny that I've done podcasts and you've done a podcast, kid. But
That is funny.
those are the interesting things that if you don't have conviction for the things that you're after, anything will derail what it is that you're trying to go after.
You know, then I guess it's discipline, really. So discipline is the thing that you need. So some sort of discipline, either if it's in your convictions, you need to be disciplined in your convictions, so you can't let your mind wander. You have to be disciplined in your actions. You have to be disciplined in, in your goals.
Well, I think the discipline helps, obviously. But first and foremost, the number one thing you have to have is the know-how and the knowing of saying, this is what I know I want, and I'm going after it. Kind of like Pixar. You guys know Pixar, right? The story of Pixar, John Lasseter. John Lasseter, the guy one of the guys that came up with the Pixar company, his one thing since he was young was, I am going to be an animator. That was his number one thing. And another personal thing about myself is, I remember being a kid and saying, I want to go work for Disney because I wanted to draw. And you know what? I let my parents derail that because they said, you can't make money off being an artist. I didn't care about the money. I care about the art. And who knows where that would have gone with computers and et cetera, et cetera. So again, look, us parents, we'll fuck you up as kids. Period. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We'll fuck you up. And if you're most likely whoever's listening to this is a child of somebody, your parents have probably fucked you up. And you will continue to let your parents fuck you up until you start making decisions on your own and start saying, this is what I got to do, and this is what I'm going to do.
I don't think it's fuck you up. I think
that's straightforward, but you know what I'm saying. Okay.
Fuck you up. You wash those dishes,
fuck you
bitch.
up. Okay, fuck you up mentally, where if you don't do the things that you want to do, and you do the things you want, your parents basically want you to do, you will hate yourself if you're that kind of person for years and years and years and years down the road. Now, the one thing that I'm done different with you is you got to figure out what you're passionate about and just go after it. Who gives a shit about anybody says out there? Self-help. Oh, you're going to find your passion. You could find whatever drives you. Whatever drives it. You have to wake up in the morning. Do you understand that? You got to wake up in the morning being you. Like we already talked about that. Being you. You have to live with yourself.
And you got to go to bed
you
with
have to
yourself
go with yourself with, yeah, exactly. And whatever fills your day, you have to be proud of that. You have to be. Because, man, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to work and I'm drained.
See, it's
not
just,
in a good way.
It's not just us.
No.
It's everybody.
It's a lot of people. A lot of people go through this. So, anyways,
so
that's the
gotta have the discipline to work on your craft, though.
Two things. One, I think you're projecting.
Well,
you're projecting a lot.
Who doesn't?
You're projecting a lot, but I think it's good. And then two, again, I don't think it's fucking you up. I think they skew your way of thinking.
Yeah.
Parents skew your way of thinking because of the way that they were raised, and that's the problem with. I mean, that's just a problem with you have something bad happen down the line, because Grandpa could have went and told that story to like your mom, and then like your mom is invested in music. He's like, don't fucking do that. And then you like music, or you never even think about music because your mom's always like, I hate music. That's the kind of shit. Kind of like on Brazy Rich Asians. I was watching yesterday about how I'm not 100% versed on Asian culture. My experience is Brazy Rich Asians. But she had the mother said that Americans have a very peculiar way of thinking where they think about their happiness, and they think about their happiness over family, over their own family. And in Asian culture, it's about doing something bigger as a whole, building things that last. And it's like, the big problem is like the son is having a dilemma on, do I marry this woman, or do I stick with my family? And it's putting him in a bad spot, because it's like he's kind of torn between, he loves his family, but he loves this girl more. I'm not going to spoil it for everybody, but that's the kind of thing. It's like parents will skew your way of thinking, and sometimes they'll do it inadvertently. Like sometimes they'll do it subconsciously. I think it's out of love. I mean, what more do you want for your child but for them the best?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, if something does seem risky, then I mean, tell them to go the safe route. We've been talking about the safe route, not taking chances. So I mean, heck, it's just got to come down to your conviction, what it is that you want to do. I mean, yeah, it's you just have to. I'm sure the majority of parents, there are those parents that won't accept it, but I mean, yeah, they're gonna accept the fact that you want to do what makes you happy. Yeah, I think for the most part,
my parents definitely, they asked me that, to where before I went over for spring break, they were saying like, oh, do you even want to stay in school? Do you want to do a trade? Do you want to drop out and just work and all that? And in my mind, I was like, there's a right answer here, and it's Yes, I want to stay in school. But like, if they asked me that now, it'd be like, you know what? I wouldn't be opposed to taking a semester off and seeing where it goes. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing, if I really took, 6 months, 7 months to figure what I wanted to do for this this pursuance of comedy. It's like, I don't know what they would say. Because like I said, I said to my little sister and she laughed at me and I was like,
Have you told them
You
yet?
want to do comedy?
yes.
Really?
Have you
Yes.
have you told them yet?
Not yet.
No.
No,
Really?
I felt that it was pretty cool to tell my little sister, just because she was awake at the moment, and I felt like if I told someone that I would feel more. Told someone other than just us, that'd be like, okay, like, hey, this is what the future has to come, rather than it'd be like, all right, like I'm gonna wait, and then once I start doing the improv class, or if I started like, why are you going out on Saturday nights all the time? What are you up to? I'm going to see comedy shows, and then it's like this man's doing drugs, like, so it's like it's not gonna come out of nowhere, but it's like I want to come at a slow pace and to see if things get going. Tell my parents, hey, I'm doing a show, and be like, you serious?
You're putting it out there in the universe.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
that's the thing.
And I didn't want to regret it because I was like, you know what? I feel that if I just came home like it was a normal day at work, it wasn't a normal day at work. I just had a fucking epiphany of what I wanted to do. So
Wait, how old are you?
20.
They're both the same age. They're
Mhm.
went to
All
high
right.
school together.
Well,
Let me tell you.
I'll
Well, look, this guy right here.
Yeah.
This guy has done that comedy
I've
club that was
done
there.
stand-up comedy, so I'll
Yeah.
tell you right now, the earlier you do it, the better.
Right.
Don't wait. Right.
Yeah.
I did it like, gosh, what is it? 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
I did it 4 years ago, and forever I wanted to get into it too, like since I was young, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we go back to the same thing about, oh, am I funny enough? Am I this and that? You won't know. You won't know that you're either funny or not until you get up on stage and you work on the material that you do. And everybody that's ever said about comedy is, you can't. You have to perform in front of people. Period.
Right.
You have to get in front of people and see if the material works,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're able to be a comic, right? Because
Yeah.
that's the way it works. So the earlier you do it, the more you do it, the better. Like, just get out there and start doing it. Like, don't even think about it. Just, well, actually, you got to think about it. But bottom line is just like, go out there and do it. Don't anything, just do it.
Yeah.
Too much. We were talking about the overanalyzing thing, right? Paralysis by analysis.
Paralysis by analysis.
There is something, yeah, it does exist where you think too much, and that prevents you from doing jack.
But that's what discipline is. That's what having
Sure,
discipline is.
of course, you're no doubt about it. And
Well-
what's discipline? To get you to do something, right?
No.
Even though you don't want to.
Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. That's what discipline is.
Look,
That's what we believe. At least we agreed
hey, what's
upon.
the definition of discipline in the dictionary? Look it up. Just find it.
Dictionaries.
Hey,
All right.
I'm gonna use the
All
actual.
right, use the
I'm gonna
actual
use
dictionary.
goddamn book. Boom. How do we do
all
this?
right,
How do
good.
I?
All right, look it up. D.
I can't fucking swipe on this shit, bro. That's
D.
weird.
You can't.
Scroll,
Discipline.
damn it.
Oh my god.
No,
okay.
man, but that's good. Though.
Oh, I found it.
You found it? What is it?
Training to act in accordance with rules. A regimen that develops or improves a skill.
Ooh, regimen right there. See, I like that. Regimen and
Punishment inflicted by way of correction and training. Behavior in accord with rules or of conduct. A branch of instruction or learning. A system of rules. To train by instruction and exercise. To bring under control. To punish. Those are all the definitions. But what was the cool
The
one?
key word is a regimen. Yeah, to
A regimen that develops or
develops
improves a skill.
There you go. So there you go. The discipline. When you want to be a stand-up comic, go develop that skill.
Definitely. I mean, think about it. I mean, a lot of people that listen to this are weightlifters, due to this guy over here.
Maybe.
But I mean,
Maybe.
just think about that. I mean, I was talking to Josh over here and just comparing it to high school sports even. You know what I mean? It's like you have to have the discipline to actually show up to practice.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. You know what I mean? You're not going to walk into every single practice wanting to practice.
Well, you're not getting paid to do it. Like, you're not
even
getting paid.
that,
Yeah, you're
even
not
that,
getting paid to do this.
but I mean, even think about that. Yeah, even think about that. Then you have to want it that much more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got to be something that you really love to do. So it's, I mean, we we told each other countless times, we'd show up to morning workouts. We'd wake up at, 5 o'clock in the morning, go work out. And then, you got your day ahead of you. And then after that, after school, you got to go to practice. And I mean, think about it, as far as film's concerned, it's just a bunch of stuff. So it's like, I mean, you doing all your video stuff. I know you're not blankly looking at your videos. You can sit there and watch your videos all day long. But if you're sitting there and there's a purpose to it, and your regimen is to get better, your regimen is to study what it is that you're doing and to perfect your craft, nothing but great things will come.
I think you got to be, and I mentioned it and I touched base on it last episode. It was, you have to be the hero of your own story. You got to be the hero of your own story, and you have to be willing to do the things that the hero does. Like when you think of all those movies with an underdog, when you think of all those people, all those movies with 8 Mile. Let's think of 8 Mile. 8 Mile is a good one. What does he have to do?
Up, down. No, I was just thinking about his job, bro.
Well, I mean, he has to work.
I had no.
He has to work. He has to work. He has to.
Best goddamn sniper out there.
But I mean, he has to go out there and he's got to.
He's a lyrical commander.
He's got to bomb. He's got to get fucking booed off stage, right? Like that's one thing that happens. What's another movie?
His palms had to get sweaty.
What's
man.
another movie with a hero in there?
I mean, Rocky.
We're not talking about Rocky
I know,
again. God
but
damn it!
like,
I fucking talked about that.
With Clubber Lane. Rocky 4.
Shoot, underdog. Underdog.
Apollo.
Oh my God, bro. What if someone's not seen it?
Oh, I mean, heck.
Dude,
even you know what? If someone has,
it's on Netflix. Get your shit together right now.
That's also Rocky 4.
Yeah, it is.
I see. I was gonna mention
Rocky
Creed
4,
2.
the best Rocky.
I was gonna mention Creed 2.
Rocky 1 is the best Rocky, man. Okay, but let's not talk about Rocky
Creed 2
because I have to talk about Rocky another 8 times at some point.
Even Creed 2 to where.
Oh my God.
No, okay. These are underdog, man. This is underdog stuff. Heck, what's that?
The movie Underdog when he became a superhero.
Dude, what was that? What was that movie with Mark Wahlberg and he tried out for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Invincible,
bro. He was what, 33
Rudy.
years old?
Rudy.
Dang, bro. It was just like.
But when you think about it, Rudy's But when you think about it, what are all those things? What are the things that each one of those people did?
Fall on their face.
They fall on their face every single time, but they had to go for it.
Yeah.
They had to push themselves.
Yeah.
They had to push themselves beyond their limits, beyond what they thought they were capable of, and they had to think of themselves as more than what they are.
Yeah.
Each one of those people had to think of themselves as more than what they are, more than what they're currently capable of, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be the hero. Yeah. But not too many people want to be the hero of their own story. It's not comfortable.
No, not at all.
What is it? You're at the end of your comfort zone comes growth, right? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. Some variance of that, but it's like at the end of your comfort zone comes growth. So when you start getting out of your comfort zone, when you go up on stage and you fucking bomb in front of people.
No, I'm gonna have Santiago in the back just being the hype man. I'm like, who's this fucking guy? Like, and then they're gonna stop him. And it's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah.
But when you go out on stage and you bomb, not too many people are gonna want to do that. No, it's gonna be hard, and you might want to stop.
And the crazy thing is even we were talking earlier to where we were saying, regarding people and when they have to go through a tough time, they don't want to go through that time where it's like they want to grow. They want to get over shit naturally. They want to hurt. They want to have the shit days. They want to have the days where you don't want to get out of bed and you don't want to go to practice or all that. And it's like, you know what? The time that you're like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my shit together. I'm going to go to practice.
You know what that's called?
Perseverance.
Discipline.
Oh.
Discipline. What is discipline, everybody? Let's read it. Let's read it together.
Is it unison?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Discipline is
It's
just
just choosing between what you want now and what you want most. So much for
Exclamation
reading
mark.
along,
Yeah, I
everyone.
mean,
you guys suck.
Man.
You guys suck.
you
You
suck.
suck.
I was waiting for you to hit us off.
You guys are followers. You guys are a bunch of fucking followers.
Hey, you know what? I kept going. All right.
Yeah, think for
You know,
yourself.
individual over here.
Discipline is
But yeah, I mean, each one of those heroes pushed themselves beyond what they thought was possible.
Yeah.
And it just kind of hit me. It's just kind of hit me where recently with the last 5-6 weeks of my program, with weightlifting, I've been really pushing the limits and pushing myself on what it is that I think that I'm capable of. Mainly because I've just had to take into account, like, why haven't I improved the way, that I want to, and just sitting there thinking about it. It's the same thing where, you guys are comfortable at home, in your situations, but now you're starting to push yourself and get out of it. It goes with this. It goes with everything else that you do, because there's the point where, sometimes comedians, they get complacent. They don't put new shit out. They stop.
Oh yeah.
Or, with musicians, they get that fucking musician block. They can't think of new songs. They can't think of new things to do. They don't have original ideas. They have to push the boundaries. But, a painter, a writer, if you're not pushing yourself, you're not growing. And I've recently come to terms, like, I've trained the same way for a really long time, and I've trained really consistently for a really long time, and I don't, I can only blame myself. I can only blame myself as to why training goes the way that it does for me. And yeah, these last 5-6 weeks, I've really pushed myself, and I've really put aside that ego part of me where it's like, do I want to make every single lift, or do I really want to see what I'm capable of? Do I want people to look at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Why is he failing all this stuff? Or do I want people to just be like, oh, he's strong at that weight? He's consistently hitting that, but he's been there forever. Yeah. Like earlier today, like, we had a complex where I had like a clean, it was like a low hang clean. So I had to bring the clean down below my knees, clean it, drop it, and then clean it from the floor, then jerk it. And I'd worked up to like 160 kilos, like 350 pounds. And then I took a big jump to push myself, because last time I had done that complex, I had done it at 170, which is like 375 pounds. So I had pushed myself to go 175, which is 385. And it kicked my ass. Like, I did that shit 3 times. So I had a total of a total of 6 cleans that I tried to do. I'm feeling it now. It's kicking my ass, but at the time it was like I really have to do this. I really have to see what it is that I'm capable of, who I am, and what I can do. And after I had failed the very last one, and Sage told me to stop before I hurt myself, I look up to her and I told her, I'm like, hey, I've been just really trying to push myself, and I love Sage, and she says a bunch of she's full of her sage advice. But she said, she's like, yeah, like, I know, like, I know you're trying to push it. I know you're trying to push it, and it's good. That's a good thing, because I try to push myself in training all the time. But if you're going to push it, you need to actually show up. Like, you need to actually show up and know that you can do it. And it's like, it kind of got me off guard, but I was like, on the last attempts, I kind of thought I was pushing myself harder and showing up as best as I could. But then it goes to show you, it's like, what are you capable of? And obviously you're more than you think you are. You be more than you think you are, be more than you think that you're capable of. Because it's like, it's that one thing that I write down a lot, where satisfactory is another word for mediocrity. Just being okay is exactly that, just being okay. So in everybody in this room, I know that we're not trying to just be okay.
Yeah.
So just show up. Yeah, just show up. Just show up. But as we come to a close here, we're approaching hour 41, an hour and 41 minutes. As we come to a close here, want to leave you with something to think about. How many days do you think are left in the year? How many days do you think are left? How many days do you think are left, Josh?
So if there's like 4 months left, that's like 138.
The answer's right up there. You
Well, fuck. He said.
Yeah.
He said. Think 132. That's how many days left in the year.
how lame.
God, I thought we were. How many days do you think?
I'll give it a close shot. No.
138.
This,
What were you going to lowball it? You're like 125. It's 132.
It's 132.
It's 132 while we record this today. What's today? August 21st.
21st.
So it's August 21st. So that's 132
you guys both
days.
have Apple Watches. Guys,
You don't even have a fucking phone.
I was about to say.
Fucking
that's what makes me different.
Shut up.
Dare to be different.
When you guys listen to this, because it's going to come out tomorrow, Thursday, 8/22, you're going to be left with 131 days. So 131 days left of 2019. What can you do in 130 days? Shit.
Wow.
What can you do in 130 days? 24 hours. So look, we're looking at 24 hours in a day.
Let's say 16.
Minimum, yeah, you're sleeping.
You know what? No. You're sleeping 6 hours,
You're
all right?
sleeping
Arnold says you only need 6.
Arnold says you only need 6. There's 18 hours.
18 hours.
18 hours in a day. 18 hours in a day. And let's say you work for 8 of them, right? You work for 8 of them. So you're left with
10.
let's say you have a 30-minute commute to work, right? So that's an hour both ways. That's an hour.
So 9.
So 9 hours. So 9 hours of free time in a day. 9 hours of free time in a day
Times 131.
times 131. That's 1,179 hours.
Yep.
Wow.
What
Dude.
can you do with 131 days, 9 hours a day, 1,179 hours?
How many times do they say that it takes the body to get something perfect?
It says you need 1,000 hours it says you need to dedicate 1,000 hours to something to be referred to as a professional. I think
1,000 hours, so you can become professional
it's something.
within.
It's
That's
something,
dude. Jeez, that's nuts. That's insane.
How many hours does it take to be?
Wow, that's kind of unreasonable.
Oh, it's an expert. It's an expert. Oh,
Every
no.
single-
Okay, sorry, we were
Fucking
fucking
rook.
way
Oh,
off.
I was gonna say, isn't it like 8,000 hours or something?
No. Okay, so it's 10,000 hours to be an
Ooh.
expert, but I think it's 1,000 hours to be good at something.
100,000 hours to be a god.
Yeah, I think it's 1,000 hours to be technically adept at something. So
I'm gonna be good at keys. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna be good at keys.
So 10,000 hours. So 10,000 hours is meant to be perfect, and then Philip Guo. Oh, it's a cognitive science professor at UC San Diego. He says that he has a thousand hour rule. So the 1,000 hour rule, a much gentler version of the 10,000 hour rule. And he says that he claims that it takes 1,000 hours of practice to get good at something. So with 1,179 hours left, 1,000 of those of just
Get
free
good.
time.
Get
We
good.
took out sleep. We took out work. We took out driving.
Get good.
Yeah, and then your variance, whatever you want to say, whatever free time you want to spend cooking or just fucking around, you have 1,000. You have at least 1,000 hours there, at least 1,000 hours, maybe 900 to 1,000 hours, to get okay at something, you know. So, what can you do? What can you do over there, Iceberg?
Mick.
No, it's Iceberg, bro.
Iceberg Mick. I mean, I think I just
Someone's gonna email me pissed off. They're like, you use that word way too much.
get that guy off. We don't like that.
That's just his nickname, dude.
Yeah.
That's just his nickname. Mickey.
bro.
Shit.
The Mickey.
It's Icy Mick.
Icy Mick. Iceberg
Icy
Mick.
Mick.
Iceberg Mick.
Iceberg Mick. Iceberg Mick. What can you do over there, bro?
I'd say that I continue on this path of
No, I want definite answers.
Oh.
What are you going to do with the 1,000 hours that you?
I'm gonna continue.
1,200 hours.
I'm
that
gonna
you have?
continue to get better at health and fitness.
Okay.
I'm beat out this eczema. Cause fuck eczema.
He keeps he's doing the same thing that he did last time. He keeps giving me the runaround. I want to know.
No, it's a general.
What are you gonna do? How are you gonna get good at it? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna continue on my diet
How are you just
by
gonna,
discipline.
Oh
Word of the fucking day.
What I'm saying is you're gonna eat better, right?
I'm gonna eat better.
You're gonna eat better.
I'm gonna continue
When
to
you-
take CBD.
Okay.
Continue to work on mental health with meditating and yoga.
Okay.
I'm a start up this improv club. I'm become the fucking champ at it too. I'm a make sure that
Everyone's
if
gonna fucking hate him, bro.
if
Like,
everyone's
get this fucking
anyone's
guy
funnier
out
than
here.
me, I'm gonna fucking find
Be
him.
like, keep that comedy in the
Be
classroom.
like,
bud."
you're not funny. I'm a deliberately not laugh at their jokes, even though they're funny as shit. And then so get comedy, get improv started, really buckle down, see what I need to do.
I'm gonna need you to write down a list for me. I need like actual actions.
Oh yeah,
You're
no.
being really vague with it. Yeah, I need you to be definitive.
Eat good.
Definitive.
Definitive.
Eat good.
Hey, bro.
Eat good. Read up. Keep it simple. You know. We'll
Definitely.
make a list after. Those were all good reasons. We'll make a list and be more definitive.
I'll be better next time.
Definitive.
I'll better discipline.
And then what about you, Schmedium?
I'll tell you, I'm gonna get better at the keys. Right now, that's for sure a thing.
What are you gonna do?
Dude, I'm gonna practice keys.
Gonna
I'm
practice.
gonna listen to tones. I'm gonna practice. I've already got a song down.
What song?
Wolf
Yeah.
by Tyler Creator.
Shouts.
Go get your keyboard. Go get it.
I'm not gonna do
Go
that.
get
right?
it. Go get your keyboard.
No, that's for the next
No,
episode.
go get your keyboard right now.
Wait
There's
till
not
the
gonna
next
be there's not gonna be a
episode.
next episode if you don't get your keyboard right
Oh,
now.
Jesus.
Go get your keyboard right now.
I'll open that door.
Okay, Josh. Well, you know what? We'll talk about the list then. We'll talk
All
about
right,
this
the list.
So the list, when setting goals and when setting goals to do something, you want to be specific with
Right.
it. You want your specificity is important. So you saying like, yeah, you want to get better at this. You're gonna keep working on it. You're gonna work on it. How?
Okay.
So like health and fitness. What are you gonna do?
Continue.
What have you done before that has gotten you to where you are now?
Yeah.
What have you done?
So consistently working out
Yeah.
an hour to an hour and a half a day.
Okay.
Continue on that.
And then with your eczema and all that stuff, like you've done research.
Yeah,
and-
continue to do research, continue to dive deep into what really triggers it, if it is, because it does go from dietary to mental health, and that's what sparked my interest in yoga and meditating, because that there's stats that yoga fucking save lives. Look it up.
Yeah.
So
Look at it, bitch.
look it up. I did. So
that's specificity.
Yeah.
Specificity is good. So you have that. So you're just gonna keep working out. Keep working out.
keep on with the diet. Keep
eating,
on.
all that stuff.
Try not to have too many times that I slip up, or I want that McChicken at 3 a.m. or something. Dude, I had
we are
that.
like
few
we are gonna go to
days.
dinner here in a little bit.
I know, but
That's okay. It's okay.
yeah, buckle down with the diet, make sure everything, and then really get down with improv, really get down with going to the shows, really get down with do my research. And you know what? If I am serious about this shit, I don't want to come back at the end of this year and say, oh, I didn't do anything.
Because I think we had this conversation already. We had a conversation.
We had
like
this
this
conversation
back in
before we
June,
started working.
at
Yeah, this
Canes.
back in
Before
June.
we started
Yeah.
working, yeah, it was like,
Yeah, we had this at
what have
Canes.
we done in 6 months?
That
Nothing.
from the start of the year to 6 months into the year.
It was
What
literally June 1st.
Bitched and moaned. That's what we
have
did.
we done? And nothing. And
After that conversation, I got my shit together. I started to take something seriously. Like, I should probably move up 5 pounds and like weightlifting. Yeah,
just discipline, man.
Yeah.
Discipline. Word of the
and
day.
it
Word of the day.
Word of the day.
131 days, 1,100 and some odd hours, 1,200 hours. But to give us this little outro, it's gonna be, we're gonna put the pressure. We're gonna put.
I definitely don't have it down like down, but it's
Big talk.
you know.
The cool thing about this is like he's gonna suck right here, and then he's gonna make my intro music down the line, and people are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
But that's how it starts. Get that microphone close to you, bud.
Well, this thing's pretty loud.
Now get it. You gotta get closer.
That was the best.
I gotta get closer.
Yeah, get it closer.
If I put this.
There you go.
This is
Yeah, there you go.
That's max right there. Is that good?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's loud.
That's fine.
Okay. Let me see here.
This is after how many hours of after how many hours of practicing this song
I
already?
gotta say I've probably practiced this song maybe about 2 to 3 hours
Total?
Yeah.
So you got 907 hours left.
This is a single song though. I mean, there's times where I wasn't just practicing this song.
Oh, just this song?
Yeah. I mean, but let me see here. Hold on.
Excuse me.
Let me see. Oh, hold on.
He's cracking.
The
pressure's on.
It's getting hot. It's getting warm in here.
Dude,
it's getting warmer in here. I'm fucking sweating.
God, I'm doing so sticky
Can you put the volume down on that?
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see here. All right. Oh, Jesus. So I've got all the chords down.
Sounded familiar.
I've got all the chords down, but I just gotta get the fingers sliding.
All right, now just do it. Just do it on repeat.
Oh,
now just keep going. While I do my outro.
Full send.
While I do my outro here. Well, okay, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate it. Keep going, bro. You gotta get that. You gotta get the outro going. You gotta get the outro music down. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this episode. This episode was really fun. It's fucking so hot in this room right now. I'm sweating so much right now. I can't. I turned those fans off about an hour ago, so I'm sweating really hard. Keep going over there, bro. Keep going. Everyone loves it.
I'm sweating so hard right now.
We're gonna go to dinner. We're gonna enjoy it. Thank you for tuning in, and I would love any feedback on the episode. So please like and share on Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want to do. Just keep going, bro. You're not done yet. But reach out to me whatever way, on the email, on Instagram, on Twitter, whatever. And leave a review. Leave a review for this
Raise Santiago's piano playing
for this podcast. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys make this possible. That was ass, bro.
No.
You guys make this possible. It's something I love to do, and with discipline, being the hero. Keep going, dude. This is actually just keep going with the discipline and the 131 days that we have left of the year. I plan on doing better with this. So thank you, and I love you guys. This is Big C signing off, and go ahead, Little Iceberg.
All right,
Big
this
Iceberg.
This is the Josh Patrick Kirby.
Where can they find you?
You find me on Instagram at Kirby_fully_loaded01.
You gonna start putting funny shit up there? Keep going over there, monkey.
No,
I'm trying.
You monkey.
No, yeah, keep
You piano monkey.
have the follows coming, and maybe soon enough I'll make a certain page for comedy, but
Keep going, bro.
You gotta make it
You're
happen.
not done yet. Keep going. You gotta get the outro
So I
into the real
appreciate
outro
you guys
music.
listening in. This is my first podcast. Hopefully, come on more because this was fun.
And I know you want to do one yourself. So
No, yeah,
down the line, hopefully
down the line,
we can get you going.
If when I start my own podcast, because got a lot of thoughts happening in my mind, and have Santiago and Caesar along with me to make that happen. Just keep it going. Keep this dream starting. Wow, that was.
I'm getting a little tired.
Yeah, you think Beethoven's forearm hurt? Yeah, I appreciate
He couldn't even
everyone
hear his
listening.
music, bro. All he knew was pain in his
Yeah.
forearms.
Van Gogh cut off his ear.
Now, bro. Jesus.
Van Gogh, bro. You
Van
fucking
Gogh.
frat boy. Okay, and then this guy over here, little Schmedium Santi.
Deuces, breskies.
Nice outro.
Can't even-
Keep going.
Oh, God.
Start from the beginning.
Oh, Jesus. Oh man, this is terrible, man. I'm in such an awkward position right now. That's why I'm doing so bad, right, guys?
Okay, everybody. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.